So do you ever feel like that there is that one spot in your home that no matter what you do, it just stays messy and cluttered? I have a few spots like that in my house and I'm kind of sick of it. So today we're gonna tackle those things head on. I've got some great solutions. I've been doing a ton of research and I'm really excited to share with you some of the things that I got recently on Amazon that are gonna help transform those messy spaces into something nice and organized. Let's jump in. All right, so the first problem area that I have is in this particular bathroom. Now, I've got the counter and then we've got under the sink. These are areas that I feel like are always messy. But here's a quick tip that I just recently learned with some research, and that is we've got kind of like two things that you have going on in your everyday life. You've got the things that you use every single day, and then you have things that you use maybe like once a week or once a month, or like overstock items, right? And so on the bathroom counter are pretty much items that we're using on a daily basis. So those are things that we want out and accessible. And then what we're gonna do is look at the things that we're using less often and make sure that if there's anything on the counter that falls into that category, we're gonna move it underneath the sink and cabinet area to just give us some more space and a little less clutter on the counter as well. So first things first, just remove it all. So let's jump in and get rid of all of this stuff off of the counter. So the first solution that I'm gonna do is I got this little Lazy Susan thing on Amazon. Now I've heard that you can get these at the Dollar Tree. You're gonna have to let me know. I did look at my Dollar Tree. I couldn't find any. So I went with the Amazon version, and these are pretty inexpensive. You get a 2-pack for I think like it was $10, so pretty inexpensive. But what I've got going on here is I've got like a lot of my Bath and Body Works lotions and things, but also my hair stuff. And so this is stuff that I use pretty much every day or every other day. So I want it where it's easily accessible, but like right now I can't even see like what's behind some of the other things. So instead of this, we're going to set it up on this and you're gonna love the result. All right, so I'm pretty happy with how that turntable turned out. The next thing that I've got going on is this thing. Now, let me tell you, there's lots of reasons why this is not working. A, this being one of them. B, I had a bright idea that to try to make this organizer work for lots of these little things, I would go to Dollar Tree and pick up like the things in the party section. You guys, look, like this is just, I'm like, it's falling apart. I'm really not proud of this solution. So we got to figure out something different. So I did pick up these little acrylic drawers on Amazon. Now these stack and then they come with little rubber bumpers. I'll put those on this one here in a second so that they don't slide off. The thought is to put this stuff into these clear drawers. And then I was looking and kind of not sure with like my oils, if those are going to be sliding around. And because part of one of the spaces that we need to reorganize in this project is all of this mess in here, I did pick up these drawer organizers for this. And it got me to thinking, I can use one of these ones to put the oils in this drawer. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna show you how it turned out in just a second. One thing that I wanna talk about is, you know, the reason that I had some of these things in this bathroom organized the way that I did in the bins that I had was because we used to travel more in our RV. And it used to be that when we would go out in the RV, we would literally clear out this house and we would list it on Airbnb and allow guests to stay here because we would be gone in our RV for 2, 3, 4 months at a time and we could rent out the house. Well, now that our kids are the age they are, just our whole travel style has changed somewhat in this season of life. We are still going out and we are still traveling, but it'll be maybe like max for a month at a time. So versus really feeling like I need to bring everything I own with me and move into another house, being our RV, I can just pack like a toiletry bag like I would for a really long trip and I don't need to bring everything with. So trying to change things up a little bit too on the organization side, because that's not something that I need to worry about anymore as far as like, how do I just grab everything and go? I don't have to take everything. So these drawer organizers come as a set on Amazon, and they have these little bumpers on the bottom so that when you put them in the drawer, they're not sliding around. So I thought what I was gonna do is put all of the cosmetics in those other acrylic drawers. I wasn't liking how that was looking or functioning. So I'm going to change the plan, because that is sometimes the thing when you're organizing.
Make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, throw away the plan.
You have one way that you think it's gonna go in your head. You have a picture of what the end product is gonna be. And as you start moving forward, you realize, maybe that's not really what I was picturing. So changing it up and getting it off of the counter for the most part and into the drawers with the organizers. And we'll see how that works. I think that's gonna work better. I'll show you in a second. So I'm repurposing this container that had like all of my makeup and stuff in it that just wasn't working with the falling apart Dollar Tree stuff. So this is gonna be for all of the stuff that my husband uses. And so we're taking it out of the horrible just IKEA bin with everything falling all over, and then putting all of that into this one. And then the drawers. So what we've got now is now we have the drawer organizers in place. So all of the makeup and stuff that I actually had in this one where everything was falling all over itself is nice and neat. And then like this top drawer is like for the daily usage stuff. And then in this drawer, I have like all of my jewelry and things like that. Now let me share a little fun hack. So necklaces. This was actually a travel hack that I learned from YouTube, but this works great for home storage too, and that is if you put your necklaces through a straw, then it keeps them from getting tangled. I know some people like to store necklaces like by hanging them on some sort of jewelry holder. I'm kind of more minimalist as far as what I have out on the countertop. So putting it in a straw like that and then putting it away keeps them from getting all tangled up. Case in point with this drawer here, this is a mess. This is a mess. Do you even have the razors that go with these?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Throw those away.
Time to purge, declutter, spring cleaning. Here we go. All right, so the next messy area, and this is something I feel like I have found in a lot of areas of our house, but anything that is under a sink. So whether that's like the kitchen sink or a bathroom sink, or maybe even like a utility room sink, this seems to end up being a catch-all for anything and everything. And then the other thing that I don't like about these spaces is that because of the plumbing that's there, you can't really have shelving because plumbing. So I found some specific under sink cabinet storage shelves from Amazon that I'm going to try out and see how those work out. So first things first, in any space though, literally you need to just clear everything out. Don't move it around, clear it out, wipe it out, and then decide what you really need and needs to go back, or maybe are there things that it's just time to purge and let go. All right, so I'm pretty actually happy with how this turned out. Now, these do have little like silicone rubber things that go underneath so that these stay in place. They're not moving as you're pulling in and out the drawers. And it definitely helps to get some depth because again, you don't have shelves where you have plumbing. So my only gripe with this particular set is that they're not very deep. So this cabinet, I would have more depth. Some cabinets you might not have as much depth. What I would do is I would just double check the measurements of the place that you're planning on using it with the item that you're ordering, just to make sure that you're utilizing the most amount of space that you can use with the item that you're looking at for the storage. Okay, so the next area of the house that we are going to tackle that I feel like just is a constant mess is the cabinet above the washer dryer. Now in most houses you have either a cabinet or maybe you have shelving that's in your laundry room, and it just doesn't always tend to be a big priority, but it can get messy really fast with just all of the stuff that people tend to keep in their laundry room areas. So that's the next area we're gonna tackle. I've got a couple of things that we're going to use. Basically, these items are like leftovers from the bathroom. So we've got the clear acrylic drawers. I've got the under sink shelves, but I think that maybe we can work some magic with these. Not sure, but we've got those to potentially use. And then these bins. So these bins I actually found in the Aldi finds section of our local Aldi. The one thing I did like about these is that this has actually like an open front, so you can grab whatever's in there when it's stacked versus having something that is stacked and then no access to this part. Now, obviously I think these were more for pantry organization because they came with like labels that are more food type labels, which we're going to use these for a different purpose. Now, this is where I kind of really wish I had a Cricut. It's on my wish list because you could make some really fancy labels for any of these types of bins. So let's head over to the laundry room and see what sort of magic we can work with that mess. Okay, so now that I have everything cleared out of the cabinet, now it's time to kind of just assess and see what is going to be like the best solution for things. Now, here's something that's sitting here looking at this and assessing the situation that I was just thinking and realizing. And that is, if I'm going to use the shelves that are meant for under the sink, then those kind of like stack higher because they're meant for under the sink. And with this particular space, there's not a lot of space because you have this shelf here. But then here's the other thing that I was thinking too, is that the tallest thing that I have in this whole pile of stuff, right, is probably like this bleach bottle or these spray bottles. And so like if you take this and you look at where it fits in this cabinet, there's a lot of unused space at the very top of where this bottle sits. So before that I move forward any further, the first thing that I'm going to do actually is in this cabinet, and most all household cabinets have this type of system where you can move these shelves around. So there's different holes, there's these brackets. I'm going to actually move this shelf up like a notch and then make sure that my tallest item will still fit up there to create more space down here, where then hopefully I can utilize that shelving system that goes under the sink before that we start putting stuff away. Really, the name of the game here is maximize every single inch of storage space that is available to be able to get the best use of it. That idea of moving the shelf did not work. So we're putting it back where it was and we'll move forward from here to see what sort of ideas that we come up with, because we also have all of this stuff over here and we're trying to simplify. My goal is all of these 3 things with rags to consolidate that all into one. So
we did find another shelf though.
We did find another shelf. So we could do 3, but I don't think that that's going to serve our purpose as well on this project anyway. We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier in the video, but that is the things that you use most often, you want easily accessible. So like as far as things that I use every day when I'm doing laundry or whatever, I want right here, easy grab, first shelf. Things that are overstock. So like I buy our laundry detergent at Sam's Club. This is like extras overstock. I'm going to put that on the shelf above. And then like the concentrate for the cleaner, this is concentrate, right? So we're filling up our bottles. This is again, like more of an overstock item. So this is going to go up here because I'm not going to be grabbing that every single day. And then I also buy like our paper towels and our toilet paper in bulk at the Sam's Club or Costco. Before we wrap up this project, the plan is to put some of those items on this shelf instead of the top shelf, so it's more easily accessible. Now we determined this under the sink storage is not going to work in this cabinet because the dimensions are not right. So we're just going to set this aside for another project for another day. You'll just have to hit that subscribe button for future videos for more home organization and hack products. And in the meantime, I've got all of these things. So I've got basically like the magic erasers. So this is where I am going to use these acrylic drawers and just put these magic erasers in here. And then we'll store this. Can I be any more graceful doing this?
Don't mess with me. Ooh. Whoa. I'm fine. I'm cool. I'm good.
You saw it here. Gracefulness right here. It goes. So put these magic erasers in there. And then like these extra Swiffer things, we will put in this drawer up here. And then that way we can get rid of these boxes. So that's just less bulk taking up space. But the other thing too that I have found is when you can see things, right? Then that's when you tend to not forget, oh yeah, I have that thing, or I can, replace that thing or whatever else. So when you can see it, you're more likely to use it every day. So we're gonna throw this right there. Oh, the other thing that I love about this, and we talked about this earlier, these rubber bumpers. They really help. So when you go to pull this drawer out, you're not pulling the whole thing out. So I just found this little lily brush. Now these are great if you've not seen these, to get like pet hair out of carpet or furniture or things like that. And I don't necessarily want to keep it in the cabinet because I feel like the better place to store this in here is where we also store things like the dusters and the brooms and stuff. The only problem is that I'm using an over-the-door hanger, actually from the Dollar Tree, which works great, by the way, especially like in this particular laundry room. I don't have like a separate broom closet or anything, so I'm just using an over-the-door rack for all of those things. But this hole is too small to fit. So all we're going to do to fix this problem is just grab a zip tie to make another loop, and now this will fit over the backside of the door rack. So we are on to plan, I think, C at this point. So what I've got is, I did use one of the stickers from the Aldi bins. This is backstock. So this is just kind of like backstock, overstock here. I've got some TP here. I'll move some paper towels down there in a minute. Now here, this is all pretty much like stuff that I know that I need for laundry. So for the white softball pants, Lord have mercy. The other thing I'm gonna do is these little drawers. Now, what I am gonna do here, so this is like my Fells Naphtha scrubbing bar. So I'm just gonna throw that in there. This is my washing machine cleaner. Don't ask me why I have a huge box for just this. So this I don't need. This is all I'm gonna keep. So that's just gonna go in here. You can clearly see what it is. And then down here, instead of having this big, huge orange container, which we'll just get rid of that.
Ow!
We'll just keep this in here. Again, I'm not too worried about labeling this because you can clearly see what's in it. That's what I do like about these clear acrylic bins. So these can go here, can easily slide this out every time that I need to grab a pod for laundry. Oh, and one more thing, because I have teenagers that play sports, keep this on hand. So you'll let me know. Should I put this here? No, probably not. I think that's gonna get hard to reach. So we'll just move this over a smidge and we'll put our OxyClean, move everything over. So it's easy enough to still grab everything that we need to grab. It is right here at the front. Okay, so then we've got over here, we've got our Swiffer things here, our magic erasers here. I've got all of the rags here. Now this bin from Aldi I like because of the open front. So this is gonna be really easy to just like grab a rag, and then as the rag pile goes down or whatever, you can still access them, or as they get washed and put away, it's just really easy to keep all nice and clean and organized. Now I did put all of the miscellaneous cleaners in this bin from Aldi because the way that these shelves are configured, this will work. So I'm just gonna stick this up here, but then when you need your cleaning stuff, it's easy enough to either see what you have or to just grab this, grab what you need and put it back. But that way it's organized and the bottles aren't falling all over each other and things like that inside of the cupboard. A few more things that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my essential oils that I use on my dryer balls. I think I'll just throw those in there because again, you can see it. It's not going anywhere. Room spray, because the cat box is also in here. So I think, let's see here. Yes, that will fit there just fine. We'll stick the gloves in here. And then let's see here. The washing soda, will it fit? Like a glove. All right, let's add some paper towels. And then this project is done. So I just realized, actually, the better spot, because of how, wait a minute, what's back here? There's a mystery thing I didn't know about. This is one of those anti-skid rug things. I don't even know where this came from. So This can go in the thrift store pile. But the way that whomever set up the shelf, this actually works out perfect to just stack a bunch of these here, and then we can still put the overstock up above the cabinet above, but that way, especially because cleaning, right? I mean, you use paper towels a lot in your cleaning stuff, so that way it's all there in together. All right, you'll have to let me know in the comments below what are some of the best hacks that you have to organize those spaces that just seem perpetually messy. I would love to hear your feedback, but I know other viewers would also love to get more ideas, so make sure that you comment below. And if you'd like more videos with some more organization specifically around the kitchen, you can check that out right up here.